Nor belongs to a poor family of baronites. Even though they are nobles, they are still discriminated against by the families of the higher class. On an unrelated note, did you know Nor in French means black? Nor wakes up in the morning to start his first day as a librarian. He goes downstairs just to see his father go down on his knees as he gives him the bad news that his job has already been taken by some other noble of a higher class. Wondering what he should do next while dissing his poor father, his sister Alice enters and tells him that he should join the Heroes Academy. Nor doubts that he will pass the entrance exam but decides to still give it a shot. While taking a walk, Nor meets Emma Brightness, the daughter of a baron and his childhood friend, who grew up with him in more ways than one. The blondie is excited to start her job as a librarian with him, but then Nor breaks the bad news to her. In contrast, Emma tells him that she has good news about his great sage skill. Nor's great sage skill gives him knowledge about anything in the world if he asks for it, yet like all great things, it has a drawback, and in his case, it's some serious headache. Emma explains that according to what she found, the headache can fade if they kiss, because apparently that's how headaches go away in harem shows. That said, what shocked me was the fact that Nor went for it, no questions asked. This slay dog does not shy away from the French ways of greeting, a method that helped him use his skill to ask the great sage about a dungeon within a dungeon where he can train to get stronger for the entrance ceremony. Thus, Nor heads to the hidden dungeon the sage instructs him to enter. Inside the dungeon, Nor finds a pretty attractive lady chained up. Now don't get freaky, this is not the kind of dungeon you think it is. You see, the lady is Olivia's servant, an adventurer who had been trapped, shackled to the walls for 200 years. After some telepathic chit-chat, bonding, and reasons unknown, Olivia gives Nor her legendary skills creative, which he can use to get any skill, and editor, a skill that modifies other skills for himself or others at the cost of life points LP. Sounds pretty dark. Until you hear what he has to do to raise dem points. Along with eating delicious food and spending money like a B-list rapper, sky is the limit when it comes to LP conversion in a fantasy harem. So with that LP drains life thing all sorted out, Nor goes around the dungeon to try his new skills, which leaves him at low life points. But have no fear, the MC's little sister is here, as well as his busty childhood friend who helps him not only raise his LP, but also get a new skill that shows a person's stats. And to thank the chick for her efforts, the man takes her boobs away to relieve her from the shoulder stress. For real, for real. The next day, Nor goes to attend the entrance exam that demands students to team up and kill monsters. But since the main man is a low-tier noble, no one wants to associate with him apart from the lovely Emma, who also decided to join him in school. That said, the pair also take on a third chick that was interested to pair up with the busty noble, completing their team. The entrance exam consists of bringing rare monsters materials, so they decide to split up. Nor goes to the third floor of the dungeon and finds a dead reaper. He consumes a lot of LP and feels the effects of it on his body, yet he still manages to fight through the exhaustion and defeat the reaper. Soon after, Nor takes the reaper's head back to the academy after his master told him it will be fine, which turns out to be more than fine. The skull landed them the highest points in the exam. The Nostalgia family celebrates the success of their boy. The little sis is all touchy-feely. The mom is all smiles, as well as the dad, but sadly for him, his smile soon turned upside down when Nor revealed that the academy enrollment fee is 300,000 reals. Since his family couldn't afford it, Nor decides to go and earn it himself. Nor asks Olivia about what he should do, and she tells him to try joining the Adventurers Guild. So he visits the guild where he meets his receptionist Lola, and from the looks of it, the next harem edition. Lola explains the guild system to him and hands him a form to fill out so he can join. After Nor hands him the form, Lola notices that he is written editor and get creative skills. She tells him not to lie, as those were the skills of a previous guild member, Olivia's servant, and she had no successors. When Nor insists that he isn't lying, Lola bets him that if it's the truth, then she will show him the mystical silky whites. Being a character with no morals whatsoever, the madman takes the chick on her offer and places his hand on a magical book that shows one's real skills. The book shines bright like a diamond, just like how this diamond JPG shines, keeping the video totally safe for work and monetized. Nor takes on the quest of capturing rainbow grasshoppers. He goes to the appointed location, and then uses his LP to first create a headache immunity skill before using his sage skill to find out where the grasshopper's hiding, making it a smooth success. Yet when Emma shows up, mad at him for not telling her that he is joining the Adventurers Guild, he tells her that he is sorry and assures the booba that he still needs her by his side, as the headache still bothers him a bit even with his spell, which is a cap of course. Later, Noor and Emma go back to the guild to claim the reward. Emma, after seeing Lola cling to Noor, gets jealous and tries to assert dominance as the first girl catching the attention of the other adventurers, so the mad lad thinks quickly and tells the girls what they want to hear, diffusing the situation. After that, Emma becomes an adventurer and goes along with Loverboy on her first quest to kill a giant rabbit. Upon reaching the designated area, the power couple gets attacked by goblins who did nothing to deserve a rock to the nuts, and to add insult to injury, dem poor bastards serve as collateral damage for the giant rabbit entry. Emma tries to take down the rabbit herself so the other girl doesn't be all over her quote-unquote very close friend. That said, the busty dual dagger-wielding hottie proves too weak to do any damage. Thus, the lads run away and hide in the forest. Considering the situation and wanting to keep his babe happy, Noor edits Emma's skills, making her stronger, a feat he could not have done if she didn't let him have some frisky time with her ear. Anyways, after getting a power-up, Emma easily defeats the rabbit while putting on a show for the main man. Later, Noor takes the rabbit horn for the cash money. He credits Emma for taking the beast down all by herself. Emma, having had the best time of her life with her friend, thanks Lola Bunny for pushing her forward. The night ends with the guild feasting on the meat of the rabbit. A short-haired chick hands Noor his prize, noting it's enough to pay the enrollment fee. Everyone congratulates him for making it into the academy. Finally, Emma and Noor are standing in front of the academy ready to start the hero studies, and that is when Maria Albert, the Duke's daughter, passes by them. Curious to see what kind of skills she has, Noor uses his skills to inspect Blondie number 2 and is shocked to learn that she will die on her 16th birthday because of a curse. Grim I know, so here is a funny moment to uplift the mood.
Oi! エリート学生朝だぞ
Back on track, seeing so many people of higher status in the school made Noor feel out of place, and the discrimination against him for being a baronet surely did not make it easy. Emma, however, instantaneously becomes popular amongst the boys. The only person to reach out to Noor in a friendly manner is the high-ranking hottie from earlier, Maria, making everyone in the class jealous of him. Later, the students go outside to attend their first defense class, taught by a former mercenary, Elna Stongs. Everyone is scared of how harsh she is, yet one can't deny the mommy vibes she gives off. To his luck, our boy gets chosen by the MILF to start the training class by making Noor attack her, so she can demonstrate the backstep technique. She then tells the class that she'll generously reward them if they successfully pull the move by the end of the class. This motivates all the boys, but to no avail, they all fail and get their spirit crushed. However, the main character is still the only man with hope in his heart, as well as the little old creative skill that he uses to successfully pull the move at the last second. And as promised, Elna rewards that lucky dog by sitting on him in front of everyone while complimenting her touchy. If this was real life, this would bring the nation to a halt, just like how it did to the boys.
おいどうだった柔らかかったか匂いは羨ましいやつ俺もやられて
For the next task, Elna makes everyone divide up into pairs but prevents Noor and Emma from pairing. Likewise, she tells Mira and her friend they can't pair. A fancy kid from a fancy family tries to raise her up by mentioning their family status, something Maria doesn't agree with, as she believes that family status is not something to determine one's value, but hard work. Anywho, Maria ends up pairing with your boy. As they exercise, Maria pushes herself and suddenly falls ill. Her bodyguard rushes to pick her up and they leave class. Noor couldn't help himself but take a look at the curse. He sees the end is near, so he asks Sage for advice and the old man delivers. But Noor passed on the idea as it would have killed his social image in school. Instead, he kissed the bae in front of everyone and then went to Lola to check if she knows someone who can help. Lola tells them that she has a friend whose specialty is curses. Lola goes to a temple to ask her cleric friend, Luna, who happens to be an elf, for help. She notices a lot of ill people lined up to get remedies from Luna. The woman has been on the grind for God knows when, so when Lola meets her during a break, the latter falls from exhaustion and Lola catches her. After the girls have their moment, Shadi asks her to meet Noor. Meanwhile, Noor heads to the hidden dungeon to see Olivia. Although she tried to play it mad at Noor for not visiting her often, Olive Babe came around and heard her boy out. After telling her about Maria's situation, the sealed hottie concludes the curse to be put on her ancestor, something that happens often to high-tier nobles. Concerned that the cleric might fail in lifting it, Noor asks if there is a way to gain LP quickly and use his skills to see how much it would cost him to cure Maria. Olivia tells him that it will cost too many life points he doesn't possess right now, so she tells him about the forbidden Lucky Lecher skill. Why it's forbidden, you ask? Well, you see, his skill boosts his luck to fall into situations where he can gain more LP. That is, he becomes a fawn services magnet, something all harem protagonists possess secretly, but never acknowledge. I'm just glad that this show made it an actual skill. In a restaurant, the group enjoys a meal while discussing the situation their friend is in. To their shock, Luna knows all about Maria and the curse thing, that she tells them that she cannot help. Sensing Elf Sakura might be hiding something, Nor uses his skills to analyze her. He is taken aback by the realization that whenever Luna tries to heal anyone, she uses her life force. Even though elves have long lifespans, hers won't be enough to lift Maria's curse as it is too powerful. That said, on their way out, Luna changes her mind and accepts to take on the job, upon hearing that the main man asks to speak to her privately. Nor tells her that he knows that she is using her life force to heal others, but she brushes him aside, saying that she likes helping others just like her mother, even though she died from using her skill too much. Their conversation gets interrupted when a building near them collapses. Anyways, after Luna heals the child, she agrees to go with them and help Maria, but Nor can see from her shaking legs that she is completely scared. When Lola hears that she has been using her life force to help others, she hugs her, apologizing for not knowing what she's going through despite being her best friend. Later, Nor thinks of an alternative solution to help them. He tells the girls that he can modify Luna's skill to consume her finances instead of her life force. That way she will only lose money and not her life lifting the age-old curse, but he doesn't have enough LP or money for it. Thus, Lola suggests that they should participate in an event a noble throws every weekend, and if they manage to win, it will supply the group with all the stuff they need. The event is called Harem Pride. In a way, these people resemble us, the average viewers who consume this trash genre. And I'm positive that is what the creators were thinking of while doing this event, which happens to be the day before Maria's 16th birthday. Therefore, Nor, Emma, Lola, and Luna are currently watching other harems go in front of them, trying to impress masked men with no bitches. The ladies fail, and the Colosseum for a moment goes silent. Suddenly, a man, after cringing, starts to roast them, and the stadium erupts. Everyone starts saying some harsh stuff that made even our girls nervous. However, the home team tries to hold faith and push themselves through as the other teams fall one by one. Until a team made of adventurers enters, their generic fantasy-looking ass made the stadium go silent. The fellas were too intimidated to say something. Hence, they decide to keep their pent-up energy locked in and ready to hate on the next team, which happens to be the home team. Worried about his girl's dignity, but also in desperate need to win the degenerate contest to save lives, Nora teases second-best girl and gives her a pep talk, good enough for her to enter first. With a smile on her face and passion in her heart, Emma jumps on the stage, making everyone in the Colosseum lose their mind at the sight of her big bazongas. Luna soon followed the first girl with her entry, and Lola followed after her onto the stage and into the hearts of everyone. Nora takes a breath of relief, but Luna tells him it's not over yet. Turns out there is a bounce round. The host, who low-key do be looking like Nora's dad, announces a special surprise round, where the girls have to do some actions to show their devotion as well as love for their master, and if the audience is satisfied, they win. The girls hold a meeting and agree to keep their plan a secret from Lover Boy to get an honest and real reaction from him. This strategy proves to be effective, as not only little No, but also the crowd got satisfied. Those maidenless bastards were too satisfied, they began to feel bad about themselves, especially after seeing that Triple Kiss live in real time. Nor won the game, the money, and the fame, but the cost of getting banned from that filth hub, which is not that of a loss in his situation if we're being honest. Now, with enough money and LP, the group quickly make their way over to Maria's house. At the Albert residence, Nor finds Amanda sitting outside crying silently. When he asks what happened, she tells him that the doctors can't help Maria anymore and she's about to die at any moment now. Nor tells her not to worry, as they have a way to cure Maria. They visit the Sleeping Beauty in her room as she was having flashbacks of how she had to live with the curse. You see, way back in ancient days, the Albert family was cursed by a monk after they defeated and slaughtered his entire tribe, and it would have been totally understandable if the guy who did the deed died of the curse. But sadly, Maria was the one who ended with it. She knew that she was going to die soon, so she decided to make the most of the time she had and join the academy to live her life like a normal girl. Lucky for her, Luna finally came to lift the damn curse, all thanks to Nora editing the skill to target finance instead of her health. Mira opens her eyes and sees that MC is by her side. He tells her that they came to help and thanks Blondie for accepting him when no high noble did. He also pulls that, "ah shit, use lots of LP, need help." The girl was like, "I got you step bro," and raise his LP. Luna then takes the spotlight and starts working on lifting the curse before the last minute ends. Everyone rejoices as Maria has finally gotten her life back. Lola and Emma, however, start suspecting that Maria has fallen in love with Nor as she keeps clinging to him. Luna tells them both that she herself is interested in Nor, making the girls even more jealous. Later, Noor visits Olivia again to thank her for all the help she gave him. When she smells the scent coming from him after all the kisses that had been flying towards his lips, Olivia demanded him to kiss her as well. Embarrassed, Noor kissed her on the forehead, proving once again no matter how ballsy the main of harem acts, he is still a harem main. Moving on, soon after the curse thing, everyone receives a huge reward from the Albert family. Noor decides to open up an item shop offering rare materials and monster stuff with his family. His father, however, drools over the 100 million reals thinking to gamble it, but Noor's sis tells him not to worry as she will keep an eye on his father so he does not blow everything up in a casino. Noor tells him to go out and look for a place that they can rent out or purchase to open up a shop. He gladly takes on the job and asks Noor to hire him as well. With everyone given their duties, Noor goes to the dungeon to hunt for materials. He enters his master rune calling her name, but she doesn't respond. To make sure she didn't die on him, he does the tickly tickly. Noor then fills her on his next move, so Olivia advises him to get floor teleportation and blinding skill before heading in deeper to collect the goodies. Noor quickly adds the skills to his arsenal and makes his way onto the 5th floor. He notices that all the giant monsters on the floor have already been killed. Before he can react, a giant black lion with a tulip on its head close on him from behind. Noor tries to scan his abilities but is unable to do so. He blinds it and tries to run away using the teleportation skill, but then stops once the lion speaks to him asking for his help. Overwhelmed by what's happening, Noor accepts his offer and they ride to the next floor entry. The lion tells him that his name is Tiger Sun, quite ironic, get it? Since he is a lion and his name is Tiger Sun. Tiger Sun narrates that he, along with his friend, entered the 5th floor 350 years ago. His friend, an elf, told the big Gato to stay on the floor while he goes ahead to clear the path from traps, and so El Gato waited. To his luck, Noor entered the floor and now has a way to check on the homie without breaking his promise. Noor enters the 6th floor and immediately gets jumped by zombies. He makes a run for it and hides in a room. Being a coward in nature, his words not mine, Noor decided to use the other door to exit. It was a wise choice indeed, as instead of a horde of zombies, he got greeted by one lone wolf, which he notices to be different looking from the others. Despite costing a lot of LP, Noor gains skills to convert the dripped zombie back to normal. Turns out it's Tiger Sun's friend, the elf. After Varshal gets his wits and brains back, Noor tells him about Tiger Sun. Varshal starts to cry and hurries back to meet him. After their reunion, Varshal apologizes for keeping him waiting. Also, he felt bad telling his loyal buddy that he has to go back to his hometown to his wife. Tiger Sun, an absolute Chad, says, understandable, and gives the man a lift back outside before parting ways with his first friend. Noor goes back to the 5th floor to find Tiger Sun, who returned there crying his heart out after the twink has left. Noor consolidates him and invites him to his home as his friend. Tiger Sun gladly accepts his offer and the lads ride to a better tomorrow. The big cat agreed to become Noor's shop's guardian. At the academy, Elma enters and explains to the students that they need to bring back items from rare monsters that they hunt. While having lunch, Emma and Noor decide to bring back dragon fangs, so they head to the guild to see if there is a commission for one. They enter the guild and see Luna holding Lola back from throwing it down with another receptionist, Tara, who apparently was stealing others' adventurers from the receptionists. Lola tells her to stop bribing adventurers with sexual favors to make it to the top of the ranking. But unfortunately, Lola has no proof to back up her claims. Sarah then suggests an idea. She and Lola have a competition. If Lola Bunny wins, then the other chick will stop seducing adventurers to her team, which is a tall order since she has to make it to the top rank this month, a thing she never was able to do before. And if the hostess with the mostest wins, then she'll take any one of Lola's adventurers. She will take the new hot kid on the block. Realizing her boy might no more be her boy, Lola asks Nora for help. Later on, Nora and Emma team up with Luna, and they hunt down various monsters, ranking up their point. They then put their eyes on bigger prey, an earth dragon. Thus, they purchase gear to face it. Nora stack up on his LP to create a dragon killer skill for the upcoming battle, and using intel from Luna, they locate one in the mountains. Once they are ready, the three of them head there to fight the dragon. Nora uses his sage skills to pinpoint it before they set up a trap. After they dig a hole and line up with spears, Nora goes to wake up the sleeping dragon. For a second, I felt bad for it. Homie was having good eye rest, not bothering anyone. In a way, I understand the drag rage once it woke up and started chasing him. Before falling into the trap, Nora was leading him to it. Emma and Luna take the opportunity to quickly attack the dragon, killing it. After that, the dream team took the fangs back to the academy to pass the exam, while the dragon body was sent to Lola at the guild to increase her points. Sadly, though, it is still not enough. Both thankful and desperate to win, Lola takes Noor to a room. She unties her collar, a very unnecessary move she pulled, to hand her boy a Touch Me Anywhere coupon. It's a way for her to say thanks and show appreciation for her boy's hard work, adding that she always thought receptionists and adventurers should share the burdens. Noor from the bottom tells her not to worry, as well as assures her that he will do his best for the win. And thus here we are back in the hidden dungeon. Noor asks Olivia about rare items. She tells him floor 7 has all that you need, and then teaches him how to combine attacks before he heads to the 7th floor, aka the Forest of Gold. And as the name suggests, the floor is a huge luscious forest, which shocked the main man. As he walks around, Noor finds a pack of wolves eating their prey. Not wanting to draw any attention, he quickly turns back to go in the other direction, but then a mysterious girl with green hair calls him. Noor turns around and is surprised to see a younger version of Emma standing right in front of him. The girl is what can be known as a dryad. Seeking help, she shows her complete surrender to him by jumping ahead and planting her face on the ground. Noor agrees to hear the lowly out. The little poof explains, although she appears to him as a girl, she is actually the great tree of the forest, and she took this form, as well as the name Dory, so that he can be comfortable around her. However, the main man does not appreciate it much since he is no lowly Khan. Dory continues to explain that something has been sucking on her body, and before you start typing, WTF, no, it is not a Chris Hansen situation. With body, she meant her actual body, the tree, and if Noor helps defeat the root cause, she will reward him with a treasure and show the way to the 8th floor. Thus, Noor heads over to the tree location to assess the situation before making a decision. A bronze wasp turns out to be the creep sucking on that adorable tree. Noor uses his eye skill to check its stats to then feel helpless once he figures out how outmatched he is. Therefore, having something called a brain, the no man says, "Nope, I'm sorry, little one." The main man is reluctant to fight this oversized insect since it's a guaranteed defeat, but when he notices how much pain Dory is enduring, Noor switches off the common sense part of his brain and decides to do what he can. Well, that and the Saz moment he had with the girl all played a part.
How you doing? All right, how are you? Have a seat over in that chair, please.
Back in the dungeon, Noor asks Olivia for her help. Although hesitant since Noor might die trying to defeat the wasp, Olivia teaches him the target's skill once she realizes that he has already made up his mind. Back on the 7th floor, Dory and Noor scout out the bee's nest and decide to use the wolves to soften it up. Noor goes back to where he saw the wolves and attracts their attention. They immediately start to chase Noor. As he makes his way across the tree, he notices that the fucker is back and Dory is there unconscious. Noor quickly uses the target's skill to make the wolves attack the bee, lowering its health before moving in for the kill. As promised, Dory rewards Noor with 2 treasures and shows him the way to the 8th floor. Seeing that she is sad, Noor tells her not to worry as he will come to visit her. Now back in the city, the adventurers gather for a deck measuring competition. At his last coin, Noor wins the final point count, making his receptionist the #1 gal in the guild and putting her on top of the other hag that was trying to steal little Noor from her. The next day, Noor hands Emma the win selection treasure, which he got from Dory. She eats it and immediately gets a surge of power and gains new skills. After that, Emma invites Noor to a dance party, yet Noor hesitates to go since people of higher status will be there and he will have a hard time. But when she accuses him of being a cuckold, the man cracks and accepts. Before she leaves, Emma out of the blue says that her boy might not even notice if someone kidnapped her and did questionable things. He will think she is dirty and will not want to talk to her. And with a line that dark, we don't know how to transition to the next scene, other than saying, now home, Noor's father gives him the bad news that people won't sell or let them rent any building for a shop since they are baronets. Seeing he can't do anything about it at the moment, Noor doesn't stress it as he has a big event to attend tonight. At the party, Noor meets with Emma and her parents. Noor notices that Emma is acting strange but doesn't know why. Before the dance begins, the host announces that the 2 phantom thieves are after his precious jewel. He then assures the guests there is nothing to fear as the Lamutop adventurers are here for security. A Viscount named Mike Kentel asks Emma out on a date, but she rejects him. Seeing that Noor is the reason for his rejection, he challenges him to a dance duel where the winner would take Emma on a date. Noor agrees to it, and just before his turn, he creates a dancing skill that lets him win the competition. Sadly though, before the main man claims his prize, the lights suddenly go out and a woman in a costume kidnaps Emma while another man in a mask, named Tom, steals the jewel. One hired adventurer goes after the thief while the other, Layla, accompanied by Noor, goes after the woman named Fan. The dominatrix tries to split them apart using her familiar, but Noor uses his water and lighting fusion magic to take her out, while Layla handles the Firebird. Soon after, the leader of the adventurers comes by to check on his underling. Noor sensed something is off, so he sees his eye skill. But before he can see anything, the old-timer punches the light out of him and uses a gravity skill to pin the dude to the ground. Turns out, it was Tom in disguise. He tells Noor that he took a liking to Emma the first time he saw her in the streets and has decided to take her as his wife. Noor, fueled by rage, gets back up and tries to fight against the gravity magic. This gave Emma an opening to fight back and break Tom's concentration. Likewise, Noor takes the opportunity to knock Tom out. The younglings then share a sweet, wholesome kiss while the adventurer blushes. After they return to the party with the thieves, both the host and Emma's parents thank Noor and Layla for their help. Also, to show appreciation, the nobles helped Homeboy in securing a shop at a cheap price. At the academy, Elna announces that a new transfer student will be joining them, Layla Overlock. Noor and Emma recognize her immediately from the Phantom incident, and she does the same, so they sit next to each other, making the boys jealous. Next, Elna announces that they will be going on a trip to the mountains. During the field trip, everyone is excited since the trip leads to the hot springs. The girls become concerned that the boys might peek at them, but Emma calms them by saying Noor would not let that happen, increasing pressure on him. Elna then tells them to keep their guard up as there can still be monsters around and they can be attacked at any moment, reminding them that this is still a camp training trip. They soon run into a massive ditch that was recently dug up. Layla tries to get everyone into a formation but fails when a pixie appears, enchanting everyone. The pixie claims she knows a shortcut to the springs, so everyone relaxes and undoes the formation and starts following her into a cave. Only Noor is reserved about the situation. He scans the pixies to see what she's hiding and realizes that she is leading them into a trap. He warns everyone, but it's too late since a horde of lizardmen suddenly attacks them. Fueled by pure horniness, the boys march ahead and attack the monsters while the girls clear the other side of the cave. At the hot springs, the manager tells them that the girls will be taking a bath first. The girls are concerned, but the boys swear not to peek at them. As soon as they leave, the boys take out masks and get ready to peek at the girls. They hand one to Noor as well, but he doesn't take it, saying it's wrong. The man had a choice between bros and hoes, and he picked the latter, so they perceived him as a traitor, leading to a chase. Noor ran ahead to alert the others and ended up running into Elna's wall. After he explains what is happening and his stance on the situation, he and the myth join forces to easily defeat dem horny kids. One of the boys, Jorth, releases all this power and turns into a roided monster, all so he can take Elna and Noor down. However, unfortunately, he fails. Anyways, turns out it was all according to the horny Hulk plan. You see, the big lug knew he was gonna lose, he was just buying time. Another kid gets up and starts sprinting away. Their mission was to at least get one person in the bathhouse. Noor uses a lot of LP to slow him and manages to catch him before he passes out. Once he woke up, Noor found himself in anime heaven. A reward for helping them out, Elna let Noor take a bath with the girl, but with his eyes covered, not that it matters since he had dem fun bags all over his face. Unlike the boys who had tears and despair all over their faces. Back in the city, Luna, Emma, and Lola helped Noor set up his materials shop. Noor decided to call the shop Stardian's Rarities, going for Tiger Sun's suggestion at a family meeting. They line up the shop with various rare materials that Noor and Dory had collected over the past few days. The shop finally opens after a while, and it is a huge success. Many people lined up to browse through the shop while the kids played with Tiger's son outside, thinking that it's not him who deserves the credit for his family's well-being and all the achievements he had so far. Noor goes to Olivia to thank her and tells his master that he's going to free her. Olivia tells him not to push himself too much, but he is determined. Thus, Noor asks the great sage how to free Olivia. The old-timer tells him to go to the 15th floor. He might find what he is looking for there, which shocked Noor since this is the first time the great sage is not certain about something. That said, Noor ventures ahead and tries to clear floor 14 by himself, but realizes that he isn't going to be able to do it on his own. So he decides to ask Emma's help after he fills her in on what he has been up to and who Olivia is. Emma agrees to help, and they both enter the 14th floor. Goblins jump them, demanding they put down their weapons and give them food. Noor gives them biscuits, not wanting any conflict, but when they treat Emma like a girl from the streets, he sneakily adds poison to the next patch of cookies. No one disses Shoddy. They later head to the 15th floor. Noor gets shocked when he sees Olivia standing there. After taking a close look, he realizes that this hottie is a copy made by the Death Chains. Noor concludes the only way for them to free his master is by defeating the Death Chains. Emma welcomes the challenge and breaks the copy's chains to start the fight. Both of them try to attack her, but she's far too powerful. Before she can kill them, Noor escapes with Emma back to the 2nd floor near Olivia using teleportation skill. After some chit-chat and silly comments about Emma's bosom size, the latter asks Olivia if she has a weakness that can help them beat the chains. Sadly, as far as the powerhouse remembers, she was never defeated, so she tells him to give up. Nora then asks her for the reason why she helped and gave her skill to him, but she doesn't respond at all. Thus, they get back to town defeated. Emma tells Nora that she's going to do some more research before they try and take Olivia on again. Nora visits the library the next day and finds out that a cleric with a rare skill called Sacrifice gave Olivia trouble 200 years ago. Nora realizes that it might be the only way to fight her. Therefore, he creates the skill using the majority of his LP. Once Nora steps outside, he gets shocked to see the death chains Olivia waiting for him at a bridge. She tells him that it's her duty to kill whoever enters the 15th floor. Originally, she would wait in the dungeon and guard it, but after centuries of studying Olivia, her personality, and what she might do from putting her under immense physical and psychological pain, the chain behavior changed to mimic Olivia's personality and impulses, hence the reason she went after Nor to the city to kill him. Nor tries the Sacrifice's skill, which low-key shocks the chain chick and put her on the defense. The copy dodges the first attack and slashes our boy with her lighting-infused sword. On the other end, Olivia feels Nora's consciousness fading away. She then has flashbacks 200 years ago. A boy asked Olivia to be his mentor. Not knowing how to teach anything and wanting to be dragged down by the weight of responsibility, she refused to teach him. The boy, however, didn't give up and kept following her around everywhere. Olivia eventually softened up to the boy and begins to have conversations with him in which she casually taught him a few things. A few days later, the boy asked her about iron golems and she told him their weak point, the eye. The boy thanks her for the lesson and leaves as usual. The next day at a bar, Olivia receives the bad news that her apprentice died trying to save a child from an iron golem. He had stabbed it in the eye, killing it before dying himself. Olivia started to regret her life choices ever since then and questioned if things would have been different if she taught him seriously. She recklessly went into a dungeon and got caught. Olivia would have stayed there for eternity until Nora showed up one day who reminded her a lot about that boy. That's why she decided to teach him everything in hopes that he would make it out alive. Meanwhile, Nora is still fighting Olivia's clone on the bridge. With the help of his harem, Nora conjured up the strength and resolve to push himself and use sacrifice skills. Sacrificing the other skills, he has to gain enough power to take her down, but it is not enough. The four of them try to take her on, but she easily takes them all out by modifying their skills. The clone turns to Nora and tries to kill him, but Nora musters up the last of his courage one more time and uses sacrifice skill again to succeed in landing a hit on the clone's head, killing it. As soon as Nora catches his breath, he rushes over to the dungeon to meet Olivia, who is waiting for him outside. She hugs and thanks him for saving her life, making Nora cry. And just like that, the series ends on a high note with the main man ready to venture off deeper into the dungeon under the guidance of his mentor.